We will begin today's COVID-19 press briefing with Mayor John Cooper, followed by Dr. Alex Jahangir, Chair of the Metro Board of Health and the Metro Coronavirus Task Force. We will also be hearing from Dr. James Hildreth, President and CEO of Meharry Medical College. We may also be joined by Dr. Adrian Battle, Director of Metro Nashville Public Schools, followed by Kevin Crane, President and CEO of Nashville Public Television. Dr. Michael Caldwell, Metro's Public Health Director, and Director Chief William Swan of the Office of Emergency Management and Nashville Fire Department are here with us as well. And we are joined as well by Dr. Stephanie Bailey, who has rejoined the administration as Interim Deputy Director of the Public Health Department as well. We will now begin with Mayor John Cooper.
Good morning, Nashville. I want to thank all of you at home who are continuing to observe the Safer at Home order. By remaining at home, practicing social distancing, and limiting all non-essential gatherings to no more than 10 people, we are working together as a community to flatten the curve of the coronavirus disease in Davidson County and in helping to support both our first responders and frontline healthcare workers. We need to help each other. Please, please urge your friends and family and your work family and your church family to stay home. We have closed non-essential businesses throughout Davidson County because it is critical for our health that we practice social distancing. We've got to work together by staying home. Stay safe. If it isn't essential, don't leave your house. Essential businesses and institutions, including grocery stores, banks, hospitals, and pharmacies, will continue to operate. Our food supply chain remains strong, so there is no need to stockpile groceries or essential items. If your errand is not truly necessary, remain in the comfort of your home as we work to eradicate the coronavirus together. Now, the Office of Emergency Management and Metro Social Services continues to work closely with our community partners to set up emergency homeless shelters by Thursday, where our guests will have access to important social services. Nutrition and food security are priorities in our public health strategy as we confront the coronavirus disease. Yesterday, we announced the creation of a Metro Food Security Working Group that will work to ensure that all Nashvillians, especially our children, continue to have access to healthy meals, as we also find creative ways to put our hospitality employees back to work. I'm grateful to Nancy Keel, President and CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee, for leading this working group, which also includes representatives from Metro Nashville Public Schools, the Red Cross, Kroger, Amazon, Lyft, and local restaurant industry leaders, including Nashville's own Sean Brock, executive chef at Husk Nashville. Those who are facing food security challenges at this time should visit covid19.nashville.com to find a link to the COVID-19 Response Fund and a list of community partners offering direct individual food assistance, including Second Harvest Food Bank, Martha O'Brien Center, and Metro Nashville Public Schools, which is providing breakfast and lunch to anyone under the age of 18 every weekday while schools are closed. You can also call Second Harvest at 615-329-3491. Now, Dr. James Hildreth, president of Meharry Medical College and an infectious disease expert, has joined us again this morning with more insight into COVID-19 and how we can respond as individuals and as a community. Now, Metro Nashville Public Schools has announced that following the guidance of Governor Bill Lee, our schools remain closed until April 24th to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus and help protect students across Davidson County. I want to thank Dr. Adrian Battle, Director of Metro Nashville Public Schools, for joining us this morning. Dr. Battle and her team have done excellent work to provide meal pickup and delivery service for many of our young people and to connect families with digital education resources so that students can continue their education despite our current circumstances. I'd also like to welcome Kevin Crane, CEO of Nashville Public Television, who is here to discuss an exciting new educational programming partnership with our schools. We're continuing to work with the state's COVID-19 Unified Command to obtain the needed medical supplies to put our community assessment centers into full operation. We are eager to get these assessment centers open to serve Nashville residents, and we'll keep everyone updated on the status of these vital resources. I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize just a handful of our community partners who've made generous contributions to our coordinated citywide COVID-19 response effort. Several hotel spas and restaurants that have temporarily closed at this time have also donated over 10,000 pairs of protective gloves for our first responders and healthcare workers, including JW Marriott, 404 Kitchen, Merchants, Gaylord Opryland, and Made First. Holiday Inn Vanderbilt and Kempton Hotels are offering deep discounts for Vanderbilt Medical Center staff who need to sleep nearby to the VUMC campus. The Drury Inn is offering the same deep discounts for first responders. And the Dominican Sisters of St. Cecilia are turning over their dorms at Aquinas College for St. Thomas Hospital staff. A coordinated response is the most effective response, and I'm thankful that we can count on the generosity of our community partners, both businesses and nonprofit organizations alike, during these challenging times. And I'd also like to remind everyone who has the means to do so to visit the COVID-19 Nashville.gov and contribute to the COVID-19 Response Fund, which was created with the help of the United Way of Greater Nashville to support Nashvillians facing hardships during this time. And now I'll turn it over to Dr. Jahangir, the chair of the Metro Coronavirus Task Force. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Cooper, and good morning. Here is the latest update in Nashville. We now have a total of 257 confirmed cases with 1 confirmed fatality. That's an increase of 4 cases in the past 24 hours. Similar to several days ago, I believe this is a function of the results that have come into the department and does not represent the beginning of the downtrend of this virus. The patients range in age from 11 to 73 years old. Of the confirmed cases, 3 are currently hospitalized. 219 cases are self-isolating at home and have mild and manageable symptoms. 34 people who were confirmed cases have recovered and are now cleared. Tomorrow, we'll move forward with plans to help our homeless community. In the coming days, we'll open facilities to provide shelter for the homeless. There will be at least 3 separate facilities available. One will be for people who are well and a place for them to practice safe social distancing. Another facility will be for those who have tested but need to self-isolate until they receive their test results. A third facility will also open for those who have tested positive but don't need to be hospitalized. It will be a safe place for them to self-isolate and recover. We must take care of each other, including our most vulnerable residents. Our nonprofit partners and the men and women of Metro government helped create this plan, and I am so grateful for their hard work. I would also like to thank the American Red Cross of Nashville area, Dollar General, and the Second Harvest Food Bank for their donation of supplies that will make it possible for us to open. Other news to tell you about this morning. The Metro Nashville Coronavirus Information Hotline opened up to answer questions about COVID-19. Please call 615-862-7777. Our healthcare professionals from the Metro Public Health Department are standing by to answer your questions. The COVID-19 information line is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. You can also get the latest information on our website, covid19.nashville.gov. Now, in addition, we need your help. We're asking for medical supplies and personal protective equipment. Thank you to all who've answered the call to donate yesterday, but we still need more. We continue to ask healthcare professionals and healthcare facilities with supplies that are not using them to please donate them. Again, go to covid19.nashville.gov to see what we need. Once we get these supplies, we can open the community assessment centers. Several have already been constructed, but as you know, there's a nationwide shortage, and we are working with our state and federal partners as well as our private sector to get those supplies soon. If you would like to donate smaller amounts of supplies, please bring them to the Community Resource Center on Elma Hundred Place. It is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now let me talk a little bit more about the community assessment centers. They will be in addition to Nashville's healthcare system that is currently responding to the community's need. Right now, if you need to be assessed for COVID, please contact your healthcare provider and they will do just that. Finally, I want to again focus on the Safer at Home order. Now, this is important. Please don't leave home unless it's absolutely necessary. On the advice of the Metro Public Health Department, the Parks Department has also made the following changes. While parks are still open, playgrounds, dog parks, basketball and tennis courts, picnic shelters, and skate parks will be closed as of today. You can still enjoy our parks, but please just practice social distancing. Also, greenways, trails, and golf courses will also stay open. Again, the best way you can fight the virus is to stay at home. You can help save lives. During the coming days, we will continue to be apart, but we truly are all in this together. Thank you so much for listening, and I thank you, the media, for helping us get our work out every day. I now would like to turn it over to Dr. James Hildreth, President and CEO of Meharry Medical College.
Good morning, Nashville. Humans have been on the earth for 200,000 years, and over that time we've developed an amazing capacity to respond and defend ourselves from all kinds of organisms. So time after time, humans have been infected by viruses and bacteria. Some of us die from that, but as a result of those challenges, our immune system gets stronger and smarter. But unfortunately, until last December, none of the 7 billion of us had ever experienced COVID-19 virus, and that is why it's racing through our communities. Our immune systems are really, really amazing, and one of the most important components of our immune system are proteins called antibodies. Antibodies have a singular purpose. They latch onto things that shouldn't be in our bodies, and they tag them for removal or destruction. And when people recover from virus infections, they often do so because they made antibodies or proteins that bind to the viruses and cause them to be destroyed. It turns out that in the last coronavirus epidemic or pandemic, MERS, several survivors were found to have made antibodies that neutralized the virus. So scientists can now do something really incredible. We can isolate the neutralizing antibodies from people who survive infections, clone the genes for those proteins, make them in vast quantities, and give those to people who are infected by those viruses to protect them. And as we speak, that's exactly what is happening around the world. Even at Vanderbilt, I believe, scientists are isolating antibodies from people who survive COVID-19. Those will be grown up in large amounts and given to people who need them. So in essence, we're giving a strong immune response to those who might have a weak immune response to help them get over the virus quickly. And I believe that innovations such as this will allow us to put this pandemic behind us much sooner than otherwise would be possible. So we can all take heart that the healthcare workers are doing what they do best. The scientists are working around the clock to give us an answer for this, but we need to do our part. Our part is simple and straightforward. Staying at home, protecting our T-zone, and doing those things that we need to do to not become a vector for COVID-19. Nashville, we got this. Don't be a vector for COVID-19. And with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Adrienne Battle, Director of Metro Nashville Public Schools.
Thank you. Monday marked the first back to work day for many of our Metro Schools employees after spring break last week. Back to work looks a whole lot different than it did last month, as our school facilities are closed. But that doesn't mean that the work stops on behalf of the students and families of Metro Nashville Public Schools. Metro Nashville Public Schools facilities will remain closed at least through April 24th, based on the guidance from the state of Tennessee, and we're continuing to develop and communicate out plans to deal with topics such as graduation, grades, transcripts, and more as classes are out of session for such a prolonged period of time. Our nutrition services and transportation teams have pulled together to make sure students have access to a nutritious breakfast and lunch every day. Approximately 7,000 meals were provided at 15 school sites and more than 35 transportation stops in Davidson County. We know how much some families depend on our schools for basic services. In addition to delivering meals, we're gathering data on what's working and what needs to be adjusted so that every child who wants a meal can get a meal and that we are operating most efficiently to meet the needs of the community. This is new territory for the district based on the unique circumstances for the city right now. And so we appreciate the patience and understanding of everyone as we work to improve every day. We expect to make some adjustments to the amount of meals provided at school sites and the operations of our bus deliveries in order to offer the best service possible. And we are looking at adding locations to meet the demand where possible. Please keep checking www.mmps.org/COVID-19 for up-to-date information on meals and other services provided by MMPS. Offering meals is just one of the many ways we are working to provide for the physical, social, emotional, and educational needs of our students. Education isn't about grades or tests. It is about inspiring people of all ages to learn new things and expand their horizons. And we don't want the learning to stop just because our school buildings are closed. We've given guidance that while our facilities are closed, our teachers and staff will still be engaged in the life of their students and working with parents to support them and the instructional needs of their children. Currently, we're offering online enrichment opportunities via our digital tools Clever and Schoology, as well as several local, state, and national educational institutions. You can learn more at www.mmps.org/digital tools. We are continuing to work with our staff, teachers, Board of Education, and community partners to identify new and better ways to keep students engaged and offer online and hard copy materials and activities to maintain their educational progress until schools return to regular session. Today, we are excited to announce a great new partnership with Nashville Public Television that starting next week will offer critical enrichment programming for children and students from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. every weekday. Nashville Public Television is an essential partner to our citywide strategic effort to support student learning. And by broadcasting this additional programming into every home in the Nashville area, they will be creating community-wide opportunities for students to broaden their horizons and learn new and interesting things every day that will maintain and advance their education. I'm extremely grateful for all NPT is doing to educate children and adults of all ages in a thoughtful, entertaining way. Now, I'd like to welcome NPT's CEO, Kevin Crane, to talk more about this great new partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Battle, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Battle and the MNPS staff for working with NPT to create this initiative. Nashville Public Television has curated an at-home learning block of programming to help parents trying to meet the educational needs of their children on our main channel. NPT has always been known for our early childhood programming, which provides a foundation for lifetime learning for our youngest viewers. This new block of programming is targeted to middle school and high school students to help meet their at-home learning needs. Subjects covered in the program in this block include science, math, history, and language arts through trusted and award-winning PBS programs and NPT's own local history programming, including documentaries like By One Vote, Women's Suffrage in the South. The new weekday schedule begins on our main channel Monday, March 30th, and the featured programs will change each week. From 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., NPT will continue to feature trusted children's programming for our youngest viewers with favorites such as Sesame Street, Molly of Denali, Wild Kratts, and others. Programming for students will include titles like Nova, Nature, American Experience, and series like Ken Burns' The Roosevelts. We'll also continue working with educators to curate and develop educational programming for this block. Our normal schedule of programs for young children will resume at 2 p.m. Other resources that are available that you should know about at WNPT.org include links to PBS Learning Media, TNPBSLearningMedia.org, a website which offers free lesson plans and video clips, and a link to the PBS Kids newsletter at pbs.org/parents/PBSKidsDaily for ideas and activities delivered each weekday. NPT's highest priority and an integral part of our mission has always been to provide programming that helps viewers of all ages learn and grow. We're committed to the Middle Tennessee community, and we're here for you during these challenging times. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. Thank you, everyone. We will now start the Q&A portion of today's briefing. I will announce your name out loud, at which point you may proceed by asking your question over the air. We will start with Tosin Fakile at WSMV.
Good morning, This is Tosin with News 4. I just wanted to know where you guys at with getting testing kits and the gear you need for the assessment center. Like, what exactly are you looking for? Where are you in the process of finding it? And if you can kind of give us like a timeline of when these centers will be open, because people keep asking us that question.
Dr. Jungir?
Thank you so much for the question. We are working very closely with the Unified Command as well as our federal partners to secure PPE as well as testing swabs. We are making progress, but what I will commit to the people of Nashville and to everyone is we'll make sure we have the correct amount of PPE to protect our healthcare workers and the people who come to the sites, and we want to make sure we have enough swabs to be able to provide tests as indicated for a reasonable duration of time. So I hope very soon, but we are working very closely with the Unified Command and others to secure this.
Next, we have Jason Steen.
Hey, Chris. Metro is reporting age brackets as far as the COVID-19 cases, with the largest being a 31-year-old span between 18 and 49 years old. This ranges from Gen Xers to early retirees. Is there any way we can get a more detailed number, maybe even in decades, of the people that are being affected inside Nashville, like the state's reporting?
Dr. Caldwell?
Good morning. We're going to be able to focus in on those numbers, and if we can provide those details to you, we will. Thank you.
Sam Zern at WPLN.
Hi, I'm with WPLN. I'm curious about the enforcement of the order at the moment. Is the mayor's office enforcing the current safer at home order? And if so, how? And if not, why?
The question is about enforcement of the Safer at Home order. And Chief Swan will answer that question.
Well, at this point, we would hope that people would understand how important it is to practice the social distancing and to adhere to the directives of the mayor. This pandemic that is impacting our community is bigger than just one person or business. If businesses continue to operate despite the directives of the mayor, they are risking the health of their employees, customers, and the public. These are unprecedented times. We need everyone to do their part by doing what they can to help us stop the spread of COVID-19. As first responders and healthcare workers, we are committed and will continue to serve the residents and visitors of Davidson County. By adhering to these directives from the health department, you can help us focus our resources on the emergencies in our communities. In short, self-enforcement is not only the best thing to do for this community, but it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Ian Jong at the Tennessean.
Good morning. Thank you for today's update. I had a similar question to the one Jason had just asked about the age breakdown, but to kind of follow up on that, I'm curious if the health officials in the room think that the numbers skewing pretty younger in Davidson County is contributing to the fairly low hospitalization rate in the county, and as well as if there is a specific message for this age group.
Dr. Caldwell.
I believe that we all have a role to play to flatten the curve, and I think this highlights that even those who are young can play probably the most important part in making sure that we reduce this virus in our community. You're right, it does seem that the majority of people in Davidson County right now who have been impacted are younger, and we are grateful that the hospitalization rate is so low. But that can change. And as Dr. Hildreth has informed us, even though we know that the older community and those with chronic diseases are those we're most concerned about, we're still learning about coronavirus. And we know that young people can and do get severely impacted by this disease. So we want to make sure that everybody participates in flattening this curve and following the directives of the Public Health Department and the mayor to be a home as much as you possibly can. Please, it's essential that we do this all together. Thank you.
We have time for just a few more questions, so we'll go Nancy, Blake, and then Kara. So Nancy Ammons.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for taking my question. How many hospital beds are available in Nashville right now? I know that you're only using 2, but do you foresee using other facilities like Bridgestone or the Music City Center if you need more hospital beds?
Dr. Jean-Pierre.
Nancy, thank you so much for that question. Our hospital capacity is really top of mind for me, Chief Swan and I, and our hospital leaderships. The total capacity in Nashville in hospital beds is 3,000, with about 650 ICU beds. Now, I think what's key here is staffing is also an important component of that. So these are physical beds, and so if you have the staff to fill all those, that'd be great. So that's something we look at daily, and I communicate with all our hospital partners with that. Regarding if we need a surge capacity, I think surge capacity is something that, again, every day Chief Swan and I discuss. There are plans we're developing if need be. We don't necessarily know a specific location per se right now, but I know we're going to work with our unified command at the state level. There are options of DMAT tents and other such facilities, as well as facilities around Nashville and Davidson County we may be able to utilize. So we'll continue to update you as soon as we have plans, and if that need comes up, I think we're going to have a good plan to address that. Thank you.
Blake Rosnowski. Blake? We're having a little trouble hearing Blake, so we'll close it out with Kara Hartnett.
Hi, I'm just following up on the assessment centers. I'm just trying to get a sense of what pace these supplies are coming in, and I know we're facing that national shortage, but do you have, I guess, an estimate or a progress metric as to what percent of the way we are there and how that's growing every day?
Yes, thank you so much. So the two big buckets of supplies we needed. So let me step back. We needed protective equipment as well as testing swabs. Personal protective equipment, thanks to the generous contribution of many individuals through our drive as well as other sources through the Unified Command at state and federal level, we're essentially there with the personal protective equipment that we feel that we need. The testing swabs is something we're working very closely with our state partners. I hope that we're able to get enough to at least give Nashville a good couple of weeks or so of ability to be tested. And once we do that, then we can roll out these community assessment centers. These centers have been constructed. We have staffing ready to go. We are really just waiting for the supply. So I feel like we're making good progress. And as soon as we feel like we can pull the trigger, we will. But we want to provide a service that serves our residents well.
Looks like we have one more question from Brett Kelman at the Tennessean.
Hi, Chris. Thank you. This question is particularly for Dr. Battle. I know there has been a lot of discussion about whether or not public schools should move to online learning and if there's an inherent inequality in that. And I'm curious how this PBS programming sort of fits into that debate of providing what you can while still making it available to all.
Yes, thank you for that question. As I mentioned in my remarks earlier, we are looking at both online opportunities and resources for our students and families, as well as providing hard copy opportunities. At the same time, it's important for us to strategically think about other partnerships that would allow our students to continue to be engaged during this time of closure. So the partnership with NPT that was mentioned this morning has been a partnership in the works to think about and address some of the many needs of our students given their various ages. We know that many of our students don't have access to online materials, to the technology or the internet access. And so through the partnership with NPT, we wanted to expand our reach to many of our students and families, given their access to the Nashville Public Television station. And so we are thinking through and trying to leverage every particular specific resource that we can to reach as many of our students, giving them many modes and avenues by which to continue their learning and engagement while they're home. Thank you.
There are no more media questions in the queue at this time. A video recording of this broadcast will be made available later today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This concludes today's Metro COVID-19 press briefing.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.